My last 5 in 5 video, guys. 5 tips if you are looking to get one of these. 5 tips that you need to know before buying a home, coming up right now. What's up and welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Sean. Hey, thanks for coming back. If you're new here, this is a channel about me and my journey to financial freedom. I talk about personal finance topics as well as I do some book reviews on personal success and self-improvement. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, please consider subscribing. The whole idea of this is to help you guys out living your best life. Anyway, I've been doing a bunch of videos that I call 5 in 5. So they're 5 quick tips in 5 minutes. This is gonna be the 5th of the series. And if you guys like it, please let me know. You have more ideas for these types of videos, please tell me and I will make them. They're pretty fun. Okay, here we go. 5 tips that you need to know when you're buying a house. Go. Number 1, know what you can afford before you go out to go shopping. One of the worst mistakes is you go out and you look at beautiful homes and then you realize later that you can't even afford them. Now you feel awful and the whole experience sucks. So make sure you go onto a mortgage calculator website. I have one in the link below that I used. Figure out what your payments are. Don't go by what the bank tells you. My wife and I went, asked the bank. They told us that we could get a house for 950 grand. And we actually said, cool, so we'll cut that in half, because that's not something that we want to get ourselves into. Make sure that you're calculating everything to do with house 2. Don't forget about the utilities, the taxes, all the little things that add up. If this is your first home, remember that it's also going to require some maintenance. Put some dollars aside for that. So if you're really into it, you're thinking about this house, you're very serious, make sure you get something that is affordable to you. It's better to be in a small house with money in your wallet than in a big house that you can't even afford to furnish. Tip number 2, this is another good one. I know that because they are my tips. Tip number 2 is know your timeline. I have a couple of videos on this, but if you're planning on only staying in this place for a couple of years, please consider renting. It could end up being the better option for you, but if it is something you're thinking of holding on to for a long time, you're thinking like 10 years, yeah, you're kind of in buying territory. The house that my wife and I ended up buying, we plan on keeping for at least 10 years, so that's why we opted to purchase it. So know your timeline, which basically means just plan it out. And it's okay if this plan changes and things don't go according to the plan, but at least make your decisions based on the information you have today. Tip number 3 is research the area. Research it very well. This could be a lot of work if you're not sure what area to be in, but look for things, city plans, talk to people in the neighborhood, see what is in the plan for the area. Is the city planning to build infrastructure or a new shopping complex or something nearby that could raise your property value? Or are they going to tear down the golf course you live next to, which could possibly affect your property value in a negative way? Always research these things because some sellers are hoping you don't, and they're probably trying to get out of there for a reason. You don't want to be left holding the bag on a property. It's just the worst feeling. A good story about this is one of the first properties that I bought was a condo. I bought it next to a place where they were going to be building a train in the next couple of years. I had to put up with a lot of construction, but in the end, even though real estate prices kind of were flat, my property ended up going up 10% because there was some new infrastructure that was built right next to it. So there's a pro tip for you. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing. It helps the channel out, gets the videos out there to more people, and I would really appreciate it, and I'll be your best friend. Okay, tip number 4 is know how much space you require, but don't get too much space just in case. Make sure you won't be running out of space in the next 5 years and forcing yourself to move again, because moving expenses are, well, expensive. But at the same time, don't get a house that's way too big or a condo that's way too big, and because the best case scenario is you're gonna end up spending money just to fill the room. So you don't wanna do that. You wanna get something that fits you just right for what you have planned in the next 5 to 10 years. So again, the house that my wife and I bought has some extra bedrooms for when we start to grow a family, but it doesn't have rooms that we don't use, like a formal dining room or an office. Last tip you need to know when buying a house is hopefully you have a good realtor. Obviously make sure you get a good, well-referenced realtor, but go see houses that you won't necessarily think of buying. You never know what you learn by going to see things that you don't necessarily think you want. When we first started looking for a house, we were looking for an inner city duplex. We ended up with a single detached house in the suburbs. Sometimes you start looking, thinking about one thing, but then as you look, you realize, actually, this is more what would suit me the best. So go in with an open mind, take a realtor with you that won't be trying just to sell you a house, and make sure you have those conversations so that they know what it is that you're looking for. And you'll see, like, what you start to look for may not necessarily be what you end up with. The other thing to know is that in any market, the good deals don't stay on for very long. If you already know your financial situation, you know what you can afford, and you've seen a bunch of houses, you'll know what you love when you see it. You'll go right away, check it out, and you know what it'll be worth, and you know a good deal when you spot it. So that way you're ready to make the purchase, and you'll also have the confidence to stick to a price when you offer it. Well guys, those are my tips. If you have any more that you used when buying your house or condo, please leave them in the comments below and we can talk about it. Tune in next week. I'm gonna talk about, what am I gonna talk about? Got it. We're going to talk about mission statements, vision statements, and why those are important. It's not personal finance specifically. It's about setting a direction for yourself, setting goals for yourself. It's a pretty good topic. It'll be a quick video. Anyway, if you're interested, hit that notification bell so you're notified when that comes out. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Spread the wealth, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye.